Hey guys, my name is Nada and welcome to a very special episode with Chords Behind the Hits series. Today we are joined by some of the most celebrated music video directors in the scene right now, responsible for all the music videos that you and I both love. So to my left, we have Kevin Hudson, Ashleigh Jade, Teeeezy, and to my right, we have KLVDR, Suave, and Nathan Tettey. So thanks guys for coming. How is everyone feeling? Good?
Good.
All right, cool. So we're gonna start off with the first question. Music videos are blank. Fill in the blank.
Music videos are legacy.
Okay.
Expression.
You stole that one. I was just about to say that.
Say art. I'm saying art quickly.
Yeah.
What about music videos in the UK? Art, what?
Repetitive.
Okay, cool. All right then. Repetitive.
I think they're distinctive. They can be. Depends what genre you're looking at. Do you know what I mean? You're saying repetitive because what you feel that within the...
I think more within rap and hip hop, they're very, some of them just look the same again and again and again. But like I've seen the same video 15, 20 times like per week.
I feel like it can be a personal story. So, the music is personal, so the video should then be personal. It's a representation of the artist, so.
Got you. Are there any artists that you're excited about in the UK right now that you think are just really bubbling?
I think Parsaloo is just one of the hardest still.
Bad man, run up in your bando. Knick-knack, mash that work like Rambo.
The way his brand is set, even the Jimmy Fallon thing recently, like he's cold still. I rate his thing.
There's a lot of artists like
Name a couple that probably comes to the top of your head.
like Teeeezy C.
You sorry for all of the names I called you. Should've never called you a bitch, but I did. Now you're pissed trying to cut my clothes.
Which is T's worked with quite a lot. There's quite a few. I feel like right now we've got so many like new artists. It's like the speed of release is really, really quick, and we see new artists like every 6 months, and it's good. It's great to see. It's great to see that there's a bag full.
And it's good to even see like the older artists like coming out with their stuff and like seeing how they can still stay in the game. Like Gets is dropping stuff soon. Like it's exciting to see stuff like that.
You mentioned branding with Parsaloo. How important do you think music videos are for like the artist's ultimate brand?
I think it's defining. I think in this age, there's so many artists nowadays are saturated. So I feel like how you come across is like seeing is believing.
Yeah.
If on camera you're not making sense, then people are not going to buy into you.
Yeah, and like I said, when I said legacy, I feel like we have to remember that this is what's gonna stay around even when artists are gone.
Yeah.
And when we're all gone, this is what's gonna, as long as YouTube and that is still around.
Yeah, I think we were mentioning about something about documentation. Music videos almost maybe perhaps act as a certain level of documenting, even when you're saying legacy, time, you can look back and
100%.
see even the shift and how they've advanced compared.
Yeah, 100%. You can see like a whole artist's like journey through their music videos as well as their sound.
You were saying something also about generations, so working with older artists. So you've worked recently with gigs. How is that? How does that compare to working with some older generation artists and some newer generation artists? Do you feel like there's a difference?
I feel like they're just a bit more chilled. Like they understand the game a bit more because they've been in it for longer. It's kind of the same though. You get like every artist is different, so it just depends on the artist, but it's still the same journey.
Yeah. They just take their time a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just ready.
Sometimes they arrive earlier. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
We're not going to like negate from the fact that you're the only woman sitting at this table. Do you feel like there's been any added battles or extra hurdles that you had to cross over? And how do you
Everyone
explain
asks me this, but I feel like my battles were more at the beginning when no one really knew who I was or didn't take me seriously. But I think now that I'm more established, it's a lot easier. Before it was like, we're trying to move to you all the time and like, trying to invite you studio and all that stuff. And it's just like, oh, man, please, I'm just trying to write a treatment here. Like, and it was just inappropriate, But now it's like, when I'm on set, you might get like the odds, one of the boys that don't know who I am. Oh, who are you? Like model, makeup artist. Like, I'm director. They're like, oh shit. And that's it. Like the rest of the shoot, they're just watching you like raw. Like it's not as bad now, but in the beginning, it's a little bit tough.
Let's talk about Ways. Yeah, Ways, Skepta, Young Ads, a great mix of like generations and sounds and people as well. Like it's just proper eclectic. Talk about that day and that process.
So that one was I was co-directing with Luke, and I remember he played me the song. And sometimes when I first hear songs, I don't know, like it just doesn't. I have to listen to it a couple times to get it. So I remember I listened to it like maybe twice before we had shot because Luke had already done a lot of. Basically, the idea was already there. I just turned up on the day and just directed it. Yeah, I didn't realize what I was directing though because I didn't clock the lyrics until until I'm looking at the monitor and I was like, wait, hold on. So I was like, oh, okay, I've entered a war. But it's cool. But yeah, no, I was really excited about that because I've worked with Chip a couple of times before. But I feel like Young Adz he's that new generation that I haven't really got involved in yet. And then obviously
at that point, have you worked with Ambush at that point?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I've been working with him quite heavily.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, there's something about like DBE, like I just feel like I've seen them blow up so quick, like they feel like proper superstars to me. Maybe because I just hadn't met them before, but when I was going to schools and talking to kids, that's all they cared about. Who worked DBE? Oh God, Young Adz this. So I was like, wow, like it was just a difference when you mention their names to kids. And then obviously working with Skepta, it's like when I was producing, the first video I ever produced was for Skepta and G-Fresh, a video called The Man. So that was the first time I ever worked with Skepta, and I was like 22 or something. So like, I remember meeting him again on another shoot that I was doing like behind the scenes on, and I told him that I'm directing and stuff. So it was cool to see him where I'm like actually directing now and telling him like, yo, you told me not to stop, look, I'm here. He's like, yeah, that's sick. So it was cool to like just be on set with 3 different generations really. Because you got like Skepta was the older generation, like the first ones, but then Chip kind of falls into both of them.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. That's what I like about Chip, because he's been there when Skepta was doing all this, but then he's my generation, but he's still relevant now. So
that's hard for an artist.
It's very interesting to work and see. What I liked about all 3 of them is how they're all from different generations, but they've all got so much character, and they felt like superstars. Like when you're shooting them, you know that you're shooting people that know what they're doing.
Did that reflect in their ideas as well that they brought to the table?
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, I think Chip kind of came up with the whole concept. They just said they wanted a hood video on steroids. That's why there's a lot of like spinning and this and cars and it was a lot going on. But it was a good shoot though. I felt like I like videos when they're just simple, but they're shot and executed clean. Which I feel like Suave does all the time. Like his videos are so clean and simple, but like I like it. Do you know what I mean? I always say that to people. I'm like, he's mastered the cleanness. You know, like I love it. So it's like, like it was good to be able to do that, but just with like bigger cameras and stuff like that. So it was fun.
I actually have a question. I know with producers, there's like the topic and the discussion of working with diss tracks, and how a lot of artists may feel sensitive if a producer works with an artist they may have dissed, or that. Does that trickle down into music video directing? Because I know you worked on Still Disappointed, co-directed. You've worked with Chip quite a bit. So if, for example, as a music video director, you were to work with an opposing fellow, is there technicalities in that?
I feel like it depends on the relationship with the artist, and it depends. For example, the Chip stuff, that's very much part of the blood sport of grime and stuff. I feel like that's okay. If the artist takes it personally, that's on them. But there is some serious real life problems that are happening that, like, if you're working with someone and you're working with someone's like enemy, shall we say, it is technical, because they're saying you're coming to link me, you might come to my yard, you might come to edit with me, we're having a relationship, but at the same time you're dealing with someone else. At the end of the day, I think it's small-minded. I feel like it's a bigger picture. We're just here to work. That stuff shouldn't really affect us, but it does. And you have to think about, is that client valuable enough to me to have to say, all right, cool, I will stay somewhat exclusive and not fuck with the other side kind of thing.
Nah, it just kind of depends how it kind of works itself out.
Got you.
I think anyway, do you know what I mean? Like, are we neutral? Like, who knows? Am I neutral? I'm just out here just trying to make things look good at the end of the day.
Yeah. And
it kind of depends who wants to, like, I buy into anyone's vision. Like, if there is a certain level of thought behind it. Do you know what I mean? If it's got like some credibility behind it, do you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, as long as it's that, I'm like ready to work. And if you're ready to kind of work with me, then you'll kind of know the level that I'll go to try and make something good for you. I don't know when it comes to like allegiances and stuff like that. It's a difficult place to be, You can be loyal to someone and then what?
It is all chess, really, when you think about
It's
it.
exactly.
You've got to know when to say yes and when to say no.
Yeah.
You don't want to burn a bridge and then, all right, cool, he's not fucking with you, and neither is he, and now you've lost 2 people.
Exactly.
You could have had 1.
I'll be real. I'm a businessman, so I look past that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I can give someone a platform, you know, it doesn't stop me from giving that other person a platform. Do you know what I mean? So I see past that person. If I need to shoot for this person and I need to shoot for that person, I'll make sure everything's good on both ends. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, artists will always see something from one point of view. Do you know what I mean? Most artists in this culture, they're coming from a background where they might take certain things as violations.
Take it personally.
Do you know what I mean? You gotta look past that and try. Do you know what I mean?
Basically, it sits in the court of the artist. I think if they feel uncomfortable about it, they should speak on it. But he's right. We're here to do our job. Like this, we're not.
We ain't part of it.
Yeah, we ain't part of it.
Yeah, I agree with what they said, and it is like, for example, I've received songs before that I've personally turned down because the diss track's a bit too potent, and I feel like it could have lent onto me as a director. So I guess it comes down to the relationship you have with either side and the actual song itself. A lot of the grime stuff is just, that's the sport, like Teeeezy said, like you'll throw songs back and forth, but there are real
I think it's more in drill we find that, because that's like, it's not the same as grime.
Yeah.
2 different artists, 2 different sets of cultures that people are coming from.
We hear about it with producers. So to see how far it trickles down into the team and kind of like the whole, everything that encompasses, I guess, like the culture and the music scene.
I feel like with producers, it's a bit more personal, don't you think?
I
Because you're
agree with
spending
Hours.
hours
You're spending
With them
time.
in one room with someone.
Okay.
Whereas with us, it's kind of like we work on something and we talk during that period of time, and then we kind of just leave the artist to do their thing, and then they'll come back.
How long does it take? You know, because I was just thinking, because it's a quick turnover. What's the turnover time like?
Oh, it's ASAP.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've shot it, boom. What are you doing next?
I mean, you've done more diss tracks than
Yeah.
I've only done 1.
It depends, because if they're replying, then it's instant. It's on that day.
Wow.
If they're sending the shot the first time, then obviously you got time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're gonna choose when they release it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've done both,
And the
and
pressures.
the replies are definitely a lot more pressure involved.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, the only experience I had was like still disappointed.
I'm more dab than it's back to business. I'm a real G and your dad's a witness. Boy drove road and your sister begged it. I told that little bitch don't ask for pictures.
And like the normal procedure is like you get the song, you understand the tone of it, then you start thinking, you know, I could shoot it this way, I could shoot it that way. That one was like, I started off as a self-shooter.
Okay.
So it was very much a turn up and shoot situation, which I've done loads of times, but it's been a long time since I've done that. And that I arrived and the song wasn't even made.
What?
So that was like the first shock, and it was like, I think we got there at like 11 p.m. and we were in the studio, and then it was just, the beat was just running in the background, and then just had to wait for Stormzy to be ready. And then as soon as he was done, I don't even think we listened to it. It was just like the first take was the first time I listened to the song, and then we had it ready the next day. And
Whose idea was the tea?
that's Storms. That's all Stormzy by himself. Yeah. So it was all quite natural, but yeah. And we shot it. So he recorded it in the studio. We shot it in the car park of the studio.
Wow.
And like while we're waiting for him, like all the fire burning, it's like we're waiting for him. So like let's get tissue paper and burn tissue paper and kind of like make some sort of an aesthetic to, you know, these bars.
Let's talk about Common Sense. just talk me through it. Like, how did that come into being?
Common Sense came out at like a really weird time for me, because I was actually looking to stop like doing music videos at that point.
Why was that?
Just like I think I was just like a bit overworked, burnt out more than anything, and I felt like this, you know, it was like really tight deadlines, and everyone wanted like it was like the jump just before everybody started really pushing things visually.
Okay.
So everybody was really trying to go hard, and Common Sense came, and I was just like, I wasn't in the mood to even like read a brief, and it's like you press play and it's like, oh shit, I did not expect like the horns and the this, and you know, it's just the sound of it. I was just like, wow. And it just made me think of like scale. And I think like sitting down with Hudson and just like talking to him about what he wanted. He just wanted like to look like he robbed a car in the beginning of it, and he just wanted to just look bossy. So you know, we just gave him that moment, gave him that platform, and gave him scale. Yeah. And I think that was the first. That was the single straight after like Did You See? So I think it's very important to make the artists within our scene look like the superstars that we see them as. I think a lot of the times you have to, it's kind of like you have to, we're presenting them in their best form. So I think there's many opportunities where they have their moments, and I think Common Sense was a moment for Hus, and that album was a massive moment for him, and we needed to give it scale. So it was cool, and like it was the first time I, you know, started playing around with like motion control, and well, it wasn't motion control, it was like a Technocrane, and we had to stop. We did budget motion control. It was like the cheapest way to do it, but yeah, it was good. But that actually gave me a new style, and actually allowed me to make things like Vroom. They actually helped. It was really cool.
I just want to, like, before I continue, say something about, pick out something you just said about making the stars see them as, you know, the superstars that we think they are. Do you feel like in the UK there's almost like an element of like, I don't want to use the word accessibility, but like we don't sometimes put artists on pedestals like other places in the world do? And why do you think that probably is? Or if it is or isn't?
I would say that everybody in this room, we would know the value in the artists because they speak a story that we're all familiar with. So we know how important they are because it's all straight with us. We get it. But I think presenting them to the world or presenting them to someone in a world that's different from where they come from, I think we have a job to do. You know, and I think showing them as big as they need to be is important, because I mean, like back then Hus was like an important artist to us, but now he's an important artist to a lot more. So I think it's just like, it's us making sure we know we're part of an important moment, and making sure that we do our best to make them look great, because it's their advert. You know, that's what a music video is. It's like their advert for their music. So yeah, you got to give them their moment, man.
What would you say is one of your favorite music videos from the UK?
Well, in terms of mine?
No, just in general.
I'll be real. I just focus on me, like literally, like.
What's your favorite one then?
I got bare personal favorites. Like I got quite a lot, like, because like every video means something to me. So, you know, back to, you know, where you were saying like, what does a music video mean? It's like, and I agree with Cal with what you said. You know, a music video is a story. Do you know what I mean? Like every music video, like there's a lot behind it. It's deeper than just a music video. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into this. Like it's deeper than it's just deeper than just doing a video. It's deeper than what people are seeing on the screen. Do you know what I mean? So I can't really answer that because I got a lot of personal favorites. But shout out to everyone that I worked with, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you'll always have these memories. Like you can drive past certain places, you're like, damn, I remember when I shot that there, and so yeah, it's quite deep.
Do you think being a music director is overlooked in the UK?
It depends, like, what you're trying to do. My personal favourite video is my cousin's video, which was 21 seconds.
Okay.
The video that means a lot, actually, is Black Boys.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was shot by a brethren. But it just kind of, it's like you say, like, I love Digga D. Put him in the coffin. You know what I mean? That's like that video is hard.
Very dope.
I appreciate it.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like you're like chill about that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I think that was last year, innit? So it's like for me personally, that was like one of your most distinctive videos where I was like, yeah, he's moving in, like you've gone all out on like an aesthetic, like even the colour choices, obviously that's their thing. But like you've just used it all the way through the video. Do you know what I mean? That says something straight away. I'm just like, there's concept there. That is sick. the more you see of that, the more it even drives you. Do you know what I mean? As a director. So it's funny, like half the time I didn't even know what my favorite video is. Do you know what I mean? It changes from time to time. But what I do know, I think it's usually, if it's a UK video, then usually it's been something where I've been like, that felt like it changed the game. Do you know what I mean? Or that feels like it's turning, like moving the scene like round the corner again. Do you know what I mean? Like someone's trying to do something different. Everyone here has like definitely done a video like that.
Like we're pushing the boundaries almost. Like we're going a little bit, that step a little bit further into, because I know we always like to compare ourselves to America or, you know, and I think the creativity, for example, let's take the Digga D video, the creativity in that was just so sick. And there's like an energy as well, like an ambience kind of that you could kind of feel from the video. I don't know if it was whether the people like that came out for it. I don't know if it was just a combination of things really. Is it hard to get the energy sometimes on sets? Or, yeah. Does it feel, can it feel forced? Like, cause we're not knowing this to go in like watching from home. We just see, for example, the Digga TV and we're like, wow, like, I would have loved to be there. Princess Cutters is another one I would have loved to have been there. Like, that is just, it looked like fun. Is it hard to kind of, you know, create that ambience of...
I think it depends on like the artist and their friends. That's like, if you've got your artist and they're like a certain type of character, like Digga D, I can only imagine he must be fun like to work with.
How's that charm? Unfreeze up the vagina. Turn his life to a timer, let that thing when they pin it's the primer. And if it ain't unknown T and them, man, I don't like.
Recently, I don't know if it was a favourite video, but I like the shot that Scribs Riley used where he's floating.
I was on the road when Tinchy made Strider, and that's E3, that's...
I thought that was a notable point. I feel like it's normally a one shot you see and it's like, yeah, that's hard still.
Yeah.
It's just moments as opposed to like the whole video is hard.
Got it. Has there ever been a time where you probably tried to persuade someone to do something in your own vision and they weren't having it, and then maybe a couple months to maybe a year, they're like, oh, we should have done it that way, or maybe my man did it that way, and you were like, oh, I said to do it that way.
Yeah.
That's happened.
I don't think people come back and say,
they just like, they swallow it, they're like,
They're
The
not gonna
egos
come
are too
back.
strong.
Yeah.
Come back to you.
Yeah. Do you think artists then can be quite sensitive when it comes in?
I think that the most like, rappers or like the ego, it's so fragile. Like,
Okay.
it's, you would be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate?
No.
Or... no one wants to say anything about anything.
But if you know, you know.
Yeah.
You guys are all established in your own field. I know with the come up, sometimes you have to try and do as much work as under the belt as you can. But I'm assuming now you can kind of pick and choose what you want to work on. Is that right? To an extent? To an extent? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go on, elaborate.
I mean, some people like at the very top, you have to work towards getting them. Perhaps someone like myself, I haven't quite reached that level yet.
Got you.
But obviously, with a lot of people that are maybe more intermediate level, mid range, I feel like you can do that.
Okay.
But there's always people that are going to be bigger than you that you kind of have to impress, kind of thing.
So what's your process in like selecting an artist to work with, or them selecting you, or how does that go? How does that
Music.
work?
Music, that's where it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's different ways. Like, obviously, we've got social media, so you get a lot of artists that hit you up directly. If you're represented, you kind of get stuff from your agent or from your production company or whatever. But I think it all comes down to the music, and for me, if I like the music, I'll engage with the project. It's never really about the size of the artist.
Got you.
Like, because sometimes, you might not feel the music and it might be a great artist, but you can.
It also helps to have a catalogue.
Okay.
Like, have a good few videos that you shot, so I can look at those videos and feel, or see how I can add to that, rather than come to an established director and feel like we can blow you and turn you into this big star. Like, it's good to at least work with someone on your level to then approach us when you feel like you're ready.
If there's like an artist that's watching right now and they wanted a music video from one of you guys, so catalogue is one thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would probably advise to be like, okay, that's probably a leaning towards actually working with them?
Come with a brief, come with a plan, come with some kind of, don't just say, I want a video, or how much is a video? It's too vague a question. Like, it's a business at the end of the day, and we're all busy people. We haven't got time to ask you 15 questions to figure out what you're after.
Yeah.
You come with a set amount of what you want to spend, what you want to do. It makes it easier for us. All right, cool, we can say yes immediately, or say, cool, couple questions about the creative, and then go from there.
It also helps us, like, if you, as an artist, know who you are. I think that's a very big part of, like, if we're saying, like, a lot of music videos look the same, it's because we might not have a lot of artists with their own individual
Is that what
like
you feel?
voice.
Do you feel like a lot of artists in the UK are more?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't
Not
say
so-
that they don't have their own like personality. I just don't think that they've explored it visually. I think everyone's got an individual story to it. You know, everyone in this room's got a different story to tell, and I think you got as an artist, you got to dig deep and go, what is that? Because really, that's going to resonate in your music. It's gonna be there. So make it work in your visuals as well, and apply it and show us who you are. And I think that's another thing that's going to make a director excited to work with you. If you're like, I've been through this and I want to recreate this, or I saw this and I want to recreate this, or this is my story and this is how I want to tell it. And if you have a bit more direction, then it's great, rather than just turning up and going, I like your videos. Can you shoot something for me?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of empty. So.
I hear you. So Suave, you've been in the game for a minute now. What would you say is like the biggest evolution of like drill, like hood videos that you've seen from the beginning to about now?
Boy, I think firstly there's definitely been an increase in like the capital that's been being like pumped into this type of music. Do you know what I mean? Because before you only had block videos, you know, literally like you only had videos where literally you got all the guys out on the block, cameraman or director pulls up and then literally shoots and that's it. But you got the labels behind it now. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot more money going into it now. So I feel like that has been a change.
Yeah. What about in the creativity aspects of it?
Yeah, I feel like that as well. Like because there's a lot more money going into it now. Obviously, people are able to get like more creative with videos now and stuff like that. So
Central C, he's an upcoming. He's made incredible noise.
yeah,
that's what he's done.
Shout out Central.
Yeah, Central C.
He's cold.
Talk about that video. Okay, there's a laugh. There's laughter.
Yeah, nah, Central. Yeah, Central. He's got that energy. Like he brings the right vibe on the camera. Yeah, like I just like working with him. Like he's a cool guy. Like you know what I mean. So.
How did your relationship start off?
Cinch. I've known Cinch for a minute, like a couple years now. Like just before he started releasing again, we had shot some stuff. I think about 2 videos or so, probably like a year and a half before. So yeah, literally like we've just been building up. Like I've known him for a minute now. Like hit him up on Insta. I said, your stuff's cold. Like let's get to work. And literally like just went from there. And yeah, that was it really.
That's what happens when you have a catalogue.
Yeah.
Like, let's just get to work.
Yeah, let's just get to work. And he just hit me back. And yeah, the rest is just went from there really.
Do you think it's important to really have a great energy and vibe with the artists you're shooting?
100%. Yeah, that's vital. In my videos, I always make sure my videos are jumpy.
Okay.
Jumpy, energetic. I like energy. There's no point of an artist doing a music video and they're coming to move stiff in front of the camera. You gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of artists, they've got videos and, you know, they release videos, but it's like, they don't even look like they're enjoying themselves, you know? So as long as you as an artist know you're enjoying yourself, the fan is gonna, or your fans are gonna see that you're enjoying yourself and tap into your music even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how it goes, really.
Do you ever think, like, depending on the artist, you have a set kind of vision for that particular person based on their character? Or was for Central C, for example, was it the song more so?
Yeah, it was definitely the song. The song played a big part in it. The song is quite an energetic song anyway, so it was due to have energy in it. So yeah, like if an artist has got that energy, I'll bring it out on camera, you know what I mean? So yeah.
What's probably one of the most overlooked tools or aspects during a video shoot that people don't probably think of? So you said lighting. And I heard you guys talk a lot about lighting and how important it was. But what do you think something's overlooked?
I think your first AD and your AD team, like it's like when you're on set, especially at the higher levels, there's like minimum 20, 30 people on set. And people need to understand that being a director is not just about making the vision, it's about directing people. That maybe your artist, maybe your DOP, people control and managing people is a very important factor that people overlook. And I've worked with some great ADs and some not so great ADs, and you see how much you get shot in a day when your AD isn't able to control people, isn't able to keep your schedule moving along. So that is mad important still.
So are there any artists that you guys have worked with that you would think would make really good directors?
Yeah.
Dave, straight up.
Yeah, Dave,
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah, he just kind of thinks about it like from a multifaceted point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's not just like how he looks. He's just like, well, what does that say?
Yeah.
What does that actually do in terms of like equipment? Do you know what I mean? What's the narrative that you can build within 3.5 minutes that actually makes sense? And you're not like trying to overachieve. Do you know what I mean? Given the amount of time and resources that you actually have, like he kind of gets it straight away. That's not to say that other people don't get it who I've worked with. It's just that he's probably a lot more interested in it than anyone else. Gets is quite interested in it actually. He writes short films and stuff like that. And obviously he acts. I think they're all, do you know what? If you kind of gave any artist the freedom, they'd probably be quite decent at being video directors, to
They've
be
been
fair.
on enough sets,
They've been on enough sets. It's just
Way around.
like application, innit? Just whether they actually want to spend the time to work a load of shit out that we have to work out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like I try and do something different every time, but I do get a message of saying like, oh, I thought you shot that, and I haven't, like, if I haven't put my name on it or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's it's weird, but I think we all do have a certain style to the way we approach, like individual style to the way we approach the things that we do. So I think after time you do have quite
A unique
yeah, like your own little way that you approach. You could probably give us the same set with the same brief, and we'd all shoot it differently.
That's
Yeah,
it.
100%.
That's actually really sick. Do any of you do it deliberately, like try and include something that's almost like quite unique to yourselves, whether it's, I don't know, a particular shot or a particular texture?
I had moments. I think for me, I was like, I went a bit Moco crazy. I was like, motion control, let's do it. And I just, I think I went through like a little phase of like, I want to put a little bit of that in every single video. But after a while, I just got bored of it. So you just got to switch it up and do something different.
Every time I tried to do something different, we never had the time to get that shot. So I ended up just always losing it. I was like, yes, on my signature.
Yeah.
Like Quentin Tarantino, he's got the opening the boot thing. I was like, yeah. And then, that shot never got done. So, but I do want to start being more intentional with like my shots and stuff that I put in videos.
Yeah. Who's worked with who?
I've worked with all
you.
these three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anyone?
Not about you yet, sorry. You two, it's next.
Soon come.
Soon come, innit?
Is there anyone you might want to work with? Obviously, you've said you two, but is there anyone else that you may want to work with? And that doesn't have to be from here. That could be in the rest of Europe, in America. Like,
Do you mean artists or directors?
directors?
I mean, we like at this point.
Co-direct.
At this point, we've got quite a lot of strong directors on like pushing the scene. Like it's not just us that are on this table. There's Meji, who's
Meji
killing it
Cobbs.
with all the African videos. Capone, he did Princess Cuts.
Yeah.
He's doing really well. You got Miles, who shoots also like loads of gigs and stuff. It's like there's a whole bunch of people. There's Casey and that. I think the whole scene is moving and everyone's like pushing forward. So
I do think that we should collaborate more though as directors. I think it would be, because it's like, I just feel like normally it's like with me, for example, when I was coming up, I collaborated with Luke Biggins. So it's like he did that to kind of help me come through. So I feel like that helped, but I think it would be good to see like established directors
I
collaborate.
think this is a good moment to shout out Luke Biggins,
Yes.
because I'd say
Yeah,
he's
we
part of
need to shout him
everyone's
out.
journey to some extent. So
Can you,
very
can you go into that a little bit more? Like, so.
Yeah, now Luke is like one of the I mean, I'd say from the beginning of the start of our scene, like early Channel U days. We're talking like Chung family, if anyone even remembers that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like Luke is someone who's been directing from a very long time, and he's wore many different hats and stuff, and I think he's helped a lot of us and educated us. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's DOPing mostly right now, right?
Yeah, DOP and
And
still
production.
directing as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But yeah, Luke has definitely helped a lot of people.
And I know, Nathan, you've gone from commissioning Dave's videos to then directing them. How was the transition like? Like what? Talk about that. Talk about the transition.
It was really quick.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, basically we got double booked on something, so I kind of fucked up as a commissioner, then I had to step in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alignment, just straight into it.
I just cleaned up my own mess, basically, and then it kind of. Do you know what was interesting is that it kind of finally when you step in and you try and direct something, you get like another look at like how difficult it can all be, and like actually how much more attention you do have to pay, and like actually your head's on the line. Do you know what I mean? And you're there by the monitor and you're making all of the decisions. When you're a commissioner, you can kind of have influence on things. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, maybe you should wear green. It's up to you, like, innit, really? Like maybe my idea was a really good idea, but if someone doesn't take it, then like you don't lose any sleep over it. But now when you're just here, and it's like, okay, shit, we got to use that lens. We got to like go to this place. We got to go and do that. Everyone's like you said, everyone's waiting to hear what you kind of say. Then yeah, the pressure is massively different, and like I say, you appreciate everything that a director has to go through just to get the edit done. You know, like get things graded, get everyone's approvals. Like before and after, you know how it is. It's just, it's like it's definitely not easy. And like the actual truth of the matter is like, I'm like a commissioner on the sense that the labels have always needed someone to break it down a little bit for them. But at the same time, everyone here has like been a commissioner in their own sense. Do you know what I mean? Like people call you, people have called everyone here before they've gone like spoken to a commissioner to try and figure out what it is they want to do.
For those who are watching that don't know what a commissioner is, can you please explain what a commissioner actually is?
It's like a middleman, basically, who, like between the label and the artist, you need the person who can kind of just organize all the technicalities that need to happen so like your music video can happen. You know, you can see some ideas, you can then make a decision on those ideas, you can then have someone who's talking to like the director or the production company and like figure out how it's all going to be shot, when it's going to be shot, how much money it's going to cost, all of those kind of things. And then obviously you have like the day when you shoot, like I said, I miss the influence. I'm like, yeah, maybe try this, and then I walk away. And then obviously once it's shot and then it's been delivered, then we work out exactly what the rollout is as well. And if we need it, just got to find, I like try and find more money, I try and find like branding money or like people that need to appear in a video. You just kind of like, you're an all-round...
Encompassing.
Exactly.
Encompassing.
I want to get into like directing when you was a commissioner. That's what I wanted to ask.
You just kind of learn.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like different ways of like how to approach it. But I didn't really know. I wasn't trying to be a video director at all. Like I say, it was all a bit of an accident.
Kev?
Yeah, so I didn't grow up wanting to be a music video director. I went at the age of like 10 saying I wanted to film music videos. But I always appreciated music videos. So I'd always be watching them on MTV, BET, so on and so on. And then, yeah, a friend of mine that I went to college with was starting his music career. And I had a camera at the time, filmed his first video, and just went on from there.
Okay, I was that kid that did...
It was like, okay.
I was the kid that used to watch music videos all day. Just polluted my mind from early, watching hip-hop videos all day. And I used to watch MTV making the video. So like I was mad young, I was like 7 or something. And I was like, I'm gonna do this when I'm older. But then as I got older, I just forgot about it. And then it wasn't until I went to college that I did GCSE, and I remember I found Rashid from Link Up. I don't know where I found this, but it was a video that he created, and it was him in the Kanye Good Life. He like recreated the video but put himself in it. So I remember reaching out to him. I was like, oh, I want to direct, like I want to do music videos. And I actually went on a set with him once. It was so funny. That was years ago. Like I was like 16, 17. And then I went on to college, and then I did a BTEC in media. And I actually thought I wanted to be a photographer. So I did photography first until I was like 20. And then it wasn't until I upgraded my camera, got a Canon and started using video. That's when I self-taught myself how to shoot videos, edit, and then got into directing. So I kind of knew I wanted to do it, but then I forgot about it.
I hear you. No, it sounded like that was kind of the journey, kind of going on.